In fact, I often tell people a story that's a true story of a time when I decided to quit law and get out of law entirely and even get out of politics. And at that time, the elder with whom I consulted said to me that the problem that I had was that I had a very good white man's education, he said, and that I would always have that. I would always have that as part of me because I couldn't undo that. But now I had to complete my education by learning what it meant to be Anishinaabe. And so he said that's what my responsibility continued to be. And whether I continued to be a lawyer or not was entirely for me to decide, but he said that I would not be the human being that I was intended to be unless I learned how to be a good father, a good husband, a good brother, a good nephew, a good grandson, in accordance with the teachings of our people. So that was what he told me that was missing in my education. So you're quite right to observe that if we only educate people in accordance with the educational system that is used for the education of non-Indigenous people, our children will continue to grow up with that sense of frustration and will in fact continue to show their displeasure by dropping out of the system in the high dropout rates that are still prevalent. Many will persevere through that and will continue on to university and continue on to try to develop a career for themselves in ways that are in keeping with their sense of who they are or their responsibility or what they can do, but it is at a loss of their sense of identity as well. And an educational system should always reinforce those four questions. Where do I come from? Where am I going? Why am I here? And who am I? And if the educational system is not reinforcing that, it should reinforce that. And so in later years, after I decided to go back to practicing law and being a lawyer, I had an opportunity to speak to young lawyers for the Indigenous Bar Association, and I said to them, because many young Indigenous lawyers drop out of law, they don't practice law for that very reason. They don't want to be part of a system that is so oppressive. And I said to them that the mistake that they're making is to think of this as a white man's system. This is not a white man's system. This is our system too. And we need to make it work for our children. And we need to take control of those parts of it that we can control to make sure that our children receive the best of this educational system and our own traditional teachings and knowledge so that they will grow up as a balanced human being, which is what they were always intended to be.